Hi, this is Rush Kolemaine with North Portland Access Project. We're here producing a little tape of what's been going on in North Portland for the last 2 years, and it's called Real Access. Sounds kind of pretentious. If you'd like to get a better idea of what we're talking about, stay tuned. We've had access here for 2 years. We'll be showing you what some of it looks like. I think you're due an explanation as to why we're calling this program Real Access. It's very pretentious, but if you understood what we're talking about when we talk about access and North Portland Access Project, I think you'll understand a little bit better. Access, to me, is accessibility. The ability for you as a cable subscriber, or anybody for that matter, to use the electronic medium that we call cable or television to talk to your neighbors. Tell them about things that interest you, things that concern you. And when you talk about using television medium in this way, you have to compare it to what we've seen as television for the last 35 years in the United States. For the last 35 years, what we've seen as television has been what the networks have brought us. And what the networks bring us essentially is entertainment and news, sports being entertainment also. It's been used by the public broadcasting system to bring us educational matters, but by and large, most people think that that's all it's good for. And that's not true. Because, first of all, broadcast television isn't reality. It's an imitation of life. And I'll give you some examples. Programming that you've seen, the soap operas is a good one. The cops and truckers shows like BJ and the Bear, Hazard County, Three's Company. They're very entertaining, and if you want to get your mind off what's going on, that's fine. But you can also use that same medium for something a good deal more useful than selling soap and female hygiene products, or what the heck ever the commercial users of broadcast have used broadcast television for. That's what access to me is. It's reality. Real access is programming that is used to bring the reality of our life here in North Portland or elsewhere to our neighbors. Communications for communities and communities of interest as well. Since we started North Portland Access Project back in August of 1981, we've been trying to do that. Most people call it public service programming, but we've had some fun with it too. And an example of the type of things that the citizen volunteers in North Portland have been doing long before we even had cable connections in our homes here in North Portland is this little excerpt that I'm going to show you coming up here. This is really access.
Videotaped as a public service by the citizen volunteers of NoPAP. Decked in the sparkling silver coins, smiling and laughing amongst themselves. Very proud bearing of these ladies as they begin to get together and be a part of America. And
Princes and their names on your cards. We'll load you up and you'll go out and you're ordinary deal, okay? Are you going to have any extras on cards?
They plan on having a few extras, whether or not they actually all show up.
If everybody shows up, we'll probably put the mayor or somebody in.
Anderson, our PA announcer here, a few minutes ago had all of the kids up and down the street come down here to the PA truck, and he deputized them as junior crowd control deputies, with specific instructions to keep them off the street. They're keeping the grown-ups back off the street today. The service they've had in the telephone industry.
Right behind them here.
And they've got a cast of heroes and heroines, clowns, and way down the street there behind their van, or you see their float coming up on a trailer behind them. There's the Big Bird, the Spider-Man, Miss Piggy, Kermit the Frog.
Where's your dog?
Oh boy, club. Sally Ann unit up here in St. John's with his wife and his kids. What you just saw was the 22nd Annual St. John's Parade, a major community event up here in North Portland, and the crew that put it together were people from North Portland, and believe it or not, most people in North Portland didn't get to see it because they didn't have cable. There have been other things that we've done with access production here in North Portland that have been kind of interesting. One of them had to do with a community problem, prostitution on Interstate Avenue and over on Union Avenue. This particular program was one of those things that led other people to look into the problems that we have here. The young woman who put it together didn't have a lot of resources to use to put it to, as a camera. We didn't have a camera. We didn't have a recorder. We didn't have much of anything to do it with, so it was put together very briefly, practically in about a 2 or 3 day period, and it had some rather dramatic footage in it. We'll give you a shot of the opening titles and some of that dramatic footage.
On liquor stores and all of these places and get the people on the street saying we are tired of it and we're not going to put up with it any longer. Yes, it's a good thing to pray for. It's a good thing to pray for. And when we go home tonight, we can still pray for it. But I'm disturbed that if we were having a rally here today and violence broke out, they would find a place to put us. That's right. I'm surprised. And I'm disturbed why we can't do anything for our community.
right out.
Yeah, if we could get people across the street.
Yeah, they got the
Thank you. I'm from the Elliott Neighborhood Association. I chair that body. And I think that Elliott has especially felt the impact of prostitution during the spring and summer months of this year.
Marina's program brought a lot of public attention to the problem. It was not the whole answer to the problem, but it started a lot of other people looking at it, newspapers, other program producers, and Rogers Cable Systems managed to get themselves an industry award for their program on the same subject. Some of the other things that we've had to make programming on at one time or another were things like the opening of the Interstate Firehouse Cultural Center. We were there for the grand opening, and we've been there since to provide programs about what was going on in this facility on Interstate Avenue. Here's a clip from an event by the junior theater group over there. It was kind of fun. Take a look at that. Then, of course, there were some other programs that we've carried. For instance, we showed the public what was going on at the time when the Sapporo Sister City delegation came here. The Women's and Youth group came over from the North Ward of Sapporo, Japan. They visited here, and the women met at the the Kenton Firehouse to have cookies and coffee and to introduce themselves to each other. It was kind of a fun thing for all the ladies, and it was kind of exciting for those of us here in North Portland, too.
Kenton Firehouse, and we stopped volunteer preparing for the visitors from Japan. What is your name, please?
Dee Brin.
And what are you doing today in order to prepare for the visitors from Japan?
What are we doing? Well, we're just having a brunch ready for the Sapporo ladies when they get here.
And what kinds of things are you going to serve for your brunch today?
Oh, watermelon, most fruits, strawberries, cherries, cantaloupe, and other melons.
Is this food provided from the volunteers, or where do you obtain the food that you're going to serve for the brunch?
Well, so far it's just we're just volunteering our money and our time and the fruit for the best. Shoot, there I go again. This problem is all.
How long did it take you to prepare all of the food?
Oh, we've been at it. Let's see. I started last night here, and then came back again this morning at 7.
Thank you very much. Discussing other topics besides fundraising?
Yeah, they were interested in different aspects of mental health. We have a lady who works in that field that will be here to speak to them. And it's not going to be a panel or very formal. We thought we'd make it very, very informal.
Sounds very interesting. Thank you very much.
This is Ruth Schmeling, a member of the North Portland Sapporo Coordinating Team, and she has a gift for each of you, as well as gifts for the young people with the delegation. And she'll explain that.
こちらがルース・シュメーリンさん、こっちのノースポートランドの札幌コーディネーターの方でいらっしゃいます。これはこのスタッフのクライムプレベンションビュローと申しまして、防犯の青少年の防犯の政府団体のちょっとしたものです。
One other thing that we've done with NoPAP, for 13 consecutive months we've produced what are probably fairly boring things for a lot of people. That's neighborhood association meetings. The North Portland Citizens Committee, which represents 5 of the neighborhoods here in North Portland, meets every month and discusses issues as they come up, things that deal with our quality of life here in North Portland. We were there, we documented them, we put them on the cable, gavel to gavel, just like city council or Congress. And once in a while something came up that was fairly important.
As Vern was talking about burglary and so on, I was thinking about this chart. Crimes against property, burglary, larceny, and auto theft. You can see that trend line. This is 1971, this is 81. You can see the 10-year period. So we went, from 1979, we went from 31,520 of those crimes up to 43,980. You can see a dramatic increase from 79 on up. And then if you take a look at burglary itself, that is absolutely scary. From 1980 at 10,979 up to 14,395. All these statistics are those kinds of arrests. Here's another one where the same street crime unit went out in the Memorial Coliseum area on the 22nd of April because there were a lot of what we call car clouds or theft from automobiles. They worked the area from 1,900 to 2,400 hours. That's 9 o'clock to midnight. And with 10 officers. During that time, we arrested 9 people on 11 charges. 4 of these were felony arrests. The important part of this to us is that we were able to interrupt a pair of car prowlers in one instance that were chased, and one was captured with stolen property from still another car prowl.
But police should not spend their time before extraordinary committees boards and commissions and citizens who feel they're going to help the police by being on a committee. Now, that's another subject, and that's going to be debated. I'm sure it's going to be on the ballot. We have enough to do to fight crime rather than fighting the police.
Well, I think...
But even without the wage increase, that money's still there if they don't give this increase.
I believe we've got a war on crime is the old term here, and I think this is what kind of our motion addresses tonight, is to concentrate on solving the problem of crime.
This particular meeting that you just saw was the start of Mayor Frank Ivancy's war on crime. The mayor, of course, is still trying to live that one down, and suffice to say he was rather perturbed with the idea of people, citizens out there with television cameras actually getting programs out. But we've managed to maybe bury the hatch a little bit since then. The result of this particular program was to draw attention to people all over the city of Portland that, gee, here was a bunch of proposals being put in front of the city council, some of which were unconstitutional or unenforceable. And it started with North Portland Access Project.
Well, if they go along with the freeze, we'll have resources to do the work. If we don't vote for the freeze, well, that's the question that you have to pose to them. See, I'm saying that this is enough of a priority that they should put the money there rather than wage increases.
Yeah, but that's logical.
That's being logical, that's right. That's
But what would happen if not, see, is what I'm saying.
Put in new commissioners.
You mean if they... You're saying that if they support my wage freeze.
If they do not.
If they do not.
Then that'll take that glob of money. Where are you going to get that glob?
As I started out saying, access, real access, is communications between people, local, real people. It's not an imitation of broadcast television like some things you see. It's a very useful means by which to bring people together, to inform them of what's going on. And we've tried to do that for the 2 years or more that the North Portland Access Project has been going.
You never say to anybody, only 10% of the people go downtown. They immediately think by bus. No. So I said, let's find out. Let's find out what's really happening to people that are riding the buses and where they go. And so we kicked it around a little while, and Jimmy said, well, we can't do that. We don't have any money. That's too expensive. I think her first thought was like a Gallup poll or whatever. Hire a research group. Yeah. And I said, no, we can do it ourselves. So after thinking about it for a few days, she says, I think we can.
Well,
that was it.
How did it occur to you that, the two of you could do it yourselves? Where did you get that idea?
We never thought we couldn't.
We called the North Portland Citizens Committee and asked if she knew people who would like to help.
That was Jerry Mouse.
Jerry, right, North Office. Mm-hmm. And said, we can use help, let's get a committee. And she suggested several names. We called these people, would you like to help? Yes. As it turned out, we had a meeting at my house one night to set the policy, format, whatever. Virginia's the only one that came. And there were very good reasons why these people didn't, so we became the committee today.
I think we're
to come up with a solution, not only a
We're just as concerned about Portland having a good bus service, public transportation, as TriMet people are. Mm-hmm. And if we've got all these numerous people are complaining and are unhappy and are frustrated and are beginning to drive their cars or not take the bus at all, TriMet obviously needs some help.
The question now is whether they're going to accept it from, pardon the expression, too little.
Your pardon.
I was paying attention to your opening remarks about government, and I saw Mortimer Adler in his book about 6 great ideas. He says government is not the people in City Hall, County Courthouse, the state capitol, or in Washington. we are the government. And I think that Joyce and I all kind of innocently have gotten into being we on this. And it's been one of the most gratifying experiences because everybody has been so enthusiastic and so hopeful. We have a real responsibility, she and I, to these people to present this to TriMet and try and influence them. And I wish more they type people would understand that they are there at our
pleasure.
well, that's a little
Well,
sufferance maybe.
I've seen thousands of volunteer hours put into some of these programs. We've put on somewhere over 150 hours of original cablecast programs, and we've done it all with minimum amount of help from anybody outside of North Portland. 104 hours of programming that we did for the first year that Portland Cable Access was in operation. We used a PCA camera for 2 hours. You can do real access programming with very limited means. As long as you understand the real access is not an imitation of life or an imitation of broadcast. That's the important thing. To understand that you can do it. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but you can reach a lot of people with an important message that proves what access is described in literature as a force for social change. We don't know. We've yet to see how it will all boil down, but starting out today, there's a new era in access in North Portland, and we're looking forward to see what the future will bring.
The Jasmine Community Marching Band is a Portland-based private non-profit organization formed in October of 1981. There were 56 members, male and female, ranging in age from 9 to 15. The program is open to all interested youngsters within this age group. For further information, call 288-6708. Band members are trying to raise funds to participate in the King Kamehameha Day celebration in Hawaii this summer. The band and the band parent booster group have planned a holiday night celebration December 23rd and are selling tickets to this holiday celebration.